everyone, welcome back to Scripture Saturday. Yeah, looking forward to this one. This is a segment where we're going to be reading scripture that I found helpful, insightful, or really funny. I haven't found a really funny one since the first one that I've posted, and I need to find another one because that was hilarious. And I think I'll probably find it in Genesis because sometimes Genesis be cracking me up. But today is not one of those ones. Today is going to be an insightful or helpful one. If you've been kind of following in the last few Scripture Saturdays, you've been noticing kind of a theme of, seasons shifting, seasons changing, and sometimes the little things that kind of creep up in the season. While I was trying to record this, I was just thinking and saying how the season might be amazing. The season might be really, really good. However, and there might be some stuff from previous seasons that the Lord's kind of shining a light into and saying, hey, you are still attached to this, or hey, you need to get rid of this, or hey, this is no longer serving my purposes and it's no longer helpful to you. You need to stop that. You need to stop that interaction. You need to stop doing that certain thing. You need to stop thinking a certain way. You need to stop saying certain things over yourself and over my destiny, over you. And there's certain things in my life where I thought, hey, okay, this is going to be, and then the Lord's like, yeah. And so I needed some handles on what he's been saying to me personally. So we're going to be reading from Esther, and if you know, you know. Esther's been my girl for a while, okay? I don't know how many times I've been getting the word about Esther concerning my life since I was young. Like, Esther's been the person for me. So let's jump right into it. Esther 8 verse 3. If you don't know the story of Esther, please go read the whole book. It's a shorter book in the Bible, very beautiful. And there was this man named Haman. Haman didn't like the Jews very much. Can we just talk about this? This man legit decided to kill a whole race of people because one person decided to be like, I'm not bowing down to you, I'm bowing down to God. You are not God. And he got touched. He was in his feelings. And so because Mordecai was like, no, I'm not going to bow down to you, he decided to put out a decree saying that all Jews must die now. Like, humanity is wild sometimes. And the things that we allow to affect us, and the things, the open doors that we've had to the spirit. Because clearly that man did not have a good spirit. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so let me stop being judgmental. In Esther 8 verse 3, it says, then Esther went again before the king, falling down at his feet and begging him with tears to stop the evil plot devised by Haman the Agagite against the Jews. And what I loved about this scripture was, I don't know why today the hands are speaking, but what I loved about that scripture is that Esther went again to the king. So the first time she had to go, she understood the severity of what she was doing. She had to fast 3 days, no water, no food for 3 days, to go before the king. Because if you had to go before the king without him asking for your presence in his courtyard, you can die, and you will die unless he hands over his scepter and is like, hey, I give you mercy, you can come and speak to me. And so the first time she went, she had to fast and she had to pray and she had to, ask the Lord for strategy, and she received it. And then she went to the king, and the king granted her request to go have a banquet. And the second time they went to the banquet, she basically asked the king to not allow Haman to kill her or the Jewish people. And the king got very angry because you touch his wife, you touch him. And I feel like that is very valid. That's a word. And I think that's the way the Lord feels about us. Like, you touch us, his beloved, you touch him. The king then gets angry. He leaves. Haman falls at, on top of Esther. It's like, please save me. Please don't do this. And then the king's like, you're about to assault my woman in front of me. Off with your head. And off with, no, not with his head, but he died. They killed him and they impaled him and did the whole thing. But all that is to say, just because they killed Haman did not stop the fact that the decree was still going to be followed through, if that's the right word. There was still a plan for the enemies of the Jews to be killed on a certain day. And so Esther had to go again before the king and say, please have mercy on my people and reverse this decree, or change the decree, or help the situation. And so what I found really helpful in my situation at this moment is going again before the Lord. Like sometimes, yes, there's been victory in a certain area and the main perpetrator has been dealt with, but there's still processes in process. There's still things in process that still need to be dealt with. And so I have to go again before the Lord and say, Lord, thank you for killing Haman. Thank you for cutting down the generational curses in my life. Thank you for dealing with the giants in my life. Thank you for the way that you have cut off the head of this spirit that's been rampant in my family for generations. Thank you for that. But also being like, Father, I am also seeing that there are still ramifications of the spirit in my life. I am still seeing that the things that have happened in the spirit are not yet manifested on earth. And I know what you've done in the spirit realm. I know what you've done in the places that I cannot see. I need for the manifestation of the things unseen to be made into the seen space. And so you have to go again before the Lord. And I felt that's such an encouragement, because after you have such intense spiritual warfare, you can almost be like, and seen, it's done, it's over, but things are still kind of happening, and you can be discouraged, being like, but I prayed about this, but I'd seen this happen in the spirit, but that the Lord had already confirmed that this is done. What's happening? And then you have to go again before the Lord and say, hey, Father, I'm noticing that things are still in process, even though that thing died. Would you release a decree? Would you change the story in the natural? What has happened in the spirit, let it happen in the natural. So I hope that's encouraged you. Please let me know what your thoughts are on Esther Ep5, and read the whole of Esther. Let me know what you think of that book. And yeah, have a great one, and I will speak to you soon. Okay, much love. Bye.